What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Pull-Up Show. My name is BJ Matthews, a.k.a. B. Just before we get started, follow us on the YouTube page, the Pull-Up Basketball Podcast. Like, share, subscribe, all of our YouTube videos by hitting that notification bell, by the subscribe button, as well as if you'd like to donate to the Pull-Up Basketball Podcast. You can do so through our Cash App, $ BJ Matthews, again, $ BJ Matthews, or YouTube. You can do it through our YouTube page. You can go through the donation where it says like, share, subscribe. On that same line, you scroll to the left. You'll see where it says thanks and a little heart symbol. You can donate that way. Let's get it popping. Okay, another loss, another L taken by the LA Lakers last night or yesterday afternoon, 106-104 to the Portland Trail Blazers. The Lakers moved to 0-3, while the Portland Trail Blazers moved to 3-0. And you know what? They really should be 2-1 at this point, but they've allowed bad habits and bad shot selection, clock mismanagement. A lot of things contribute to the 0-3 loss, right? So I don't want to talk too much about the wins and losses with the Lakers. I want to talk about another issue I think people are choosing to avoid or choosing not to really acknowledge, and that's with Anthony Davis, what the Lakers are doing with Anthony Davis. Listen, AD coming into this season by Coach Damian Lillard said that he was going to be the main option, the first option of the Lakers. AD, the first 3 games has been trailing LeBron James in shots from 2 and 3. He's been trailing LeBron James in shots, even though the coach Damian Lillard has said that he was going to be the main option, first option this season, going into this season. I got a problem with that because AD, the notion has been AD needs to take his game to another level. AD needs to take the keys away from LeBron James. AD needs to be the same AD in that bubble. That's what we've been hearing from many Laker fans, LeBron fans, NBA fans, period. Going by the first 3 games, I have not seen that. And that's something that's been on AD, something that's been on LeBron, something that's been on the coach, right? Because AD has to be assertive enough to demand the ball. LeBron James cannot be out shooting AD when it comes to shots. That's why they've been losing these games, in my opinion. I'm going to get to that in a minute. And then Damian Lillard has to be able to coach this team, make the adjustment to say, hey, we're playing through AD. And once other guys get out the game plan, they got to either sit down or they got to be able to hear my voice. How much power Damian Lillard has, I don't know, but there's something that's not clicking in the whole formula right now. So, Anthony Davis, I think it's time for the Lakers to get off Anthony Davis. If this is going to be a problem where, as long as LeBron is here, there's a conflict of interest of who's going to be the number 1 option, who's the man of the team, AD not being commanding the ball enough, and then you have a coach who's enabling LeBron James right now or not allowed to, correct them. I don't see the point of Anthony Davis really being on the Lakers anymore. He's been playing solid. Trust me, he's been playing solid. I think he had 22 points and 10 rebounds yesterday with 6 blocks. 6 blocks, which is good both ways, which is great. But I'm not seeing the same AD I saw in that bubble. The AD Anthony Davis in the bubble was a top 5 player nonetheless. Okay? So he's not playing the same level, in my opinion, that's going to take the Lakers to championship series contention. This season is riding on Anthony Davis, not LeBron James right now, because AD should be the best player. He's the 29-year-old. LeBron's 37 years old, going on 38. He does not need to be taking the most shots on the team. But he is. And if you mix that in with that and the injury history of AD, where he can get hurt at any time, the last couple of seasons has been showing, I don't believe Anthony Davis has been as serious with his condition as he should be in the offseason. That's why I think he continues to get hurt. He gets hurt again this year. They need to definitely move him, but I would think even right now, I would kind of sit down and say to myself, okay, if I'm Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, what are we looking for? Are we looking for a championship this season? Are we looking for to just be competitive? Are we looking to just make the playoffs? What are we really looking for? Because at this point, if you're looking to win a championship, you would trade AD for this reason only. If you feel like LeBron James can still be the number 1 option, because that's what you're showing me. Essentially, you still think LeBron James is the best player on the team. You still think he's the number 1 option. You still think he's a top 10 player. My thing is, if you still feel that way, and you see AD's history with injury, and you see him not being that same player he was in that bubble, why not go and get some assets around LeBron? Because you guys said he needs shooters. Get some real assets around LeBron, which they need is outside shooting. Possibly get a second star, another second star, borderline star. If you trade AD and Russ in a package, get a second star, and make the trade for Anthony Davis, who is not what he was in the bubble, who doesn't have the same fire and passion, who's not as healthy as he was in that bubble. Make that trade and make that move if you still think LeBron's that guy. But if you don't think LeBron's that guy, then what are you doing playing through him? What is he doing taking 22 shots yesterday to Anthony Davis at 17? What is LeBron James doing taking 10 3-point shots against the Golden State Warriors, making 3 of them, taking 8 against the Clippers, making 2 of them, taking 9 yesterday against the Trailblazers, making 2 of them? People want to get on Russell Westbrook for shooting, but LeBron James has bting just as bad from 3-point line. He's still shooting them bad shots, airballing logo threes, but no one wants to talk about this. None of these shows want to talk about it, or if they talk about it, it's very briefly. I was like, oh, LeBron shot a bad shot, but nobody wants to actually break it down. But when it comes to Russell Westbrook, people want to say, oh, he shouldn't be shooting that shot. He shouldn't be shooting that shot. Well, look at LeBron James. That's why the stats that's coming out, him having 29 or 31 points or whatever, are misleading, because he's taking so many shots, and the fact that he's getting so many opportunities to fail, he has no care in the world to just be able to shoot the type of shots that he's shooting. So the shots are misleading, and they're not, and the most important thing, they're not equaling wins. That just goes to show you what they're doing offensively is not working. It's not their defense. What they're doing playing through LeBron is not working. When they play through AD, through the first 3 games, what I've seen, the Lakers have been able to keep the game close. They've been able to keep the game respectably close. But when they start letting LeBron go and shoot and do his thing, that's when the Lakers start to lose their lead. LeBron turned the ball over 4 times just against the Portland Trailblazers. Nobody wants to talk about it. Him not being held accountable, but yet people still think he's the best player on the team. But let me go back to AD. AD, again, it's very clear that the Lakers still believe LeBron James is the best player on this team. What Darvin Ham said that they're going to play through AD was obviously not true, or the plan changed in the process, or what. But AD, if he's not going to be the dominant player until while LeBron's there, then why have him there? And number 2, the injury history of AD is not a good report. People get on Kawhi Leonard for being injured, but at least Kawhi faces major injuries, and he does what they call load management to help preserve his energy for the playoffs. They actually give him a plan to be able to be ready for the playoffs, right? And that's probably what something AD should take in Kawhi's book, to start doing some load management if you feel like you need to have more time off. But in reality, it's not nothing degenerate about his knees or nothing. It's just the fact that, for whatever reason, to me, he doesn't take care of his body enough in the offseason. So if AD gets hurt this year, or if I start seeing more of this, LeBron shooting the basketball more than AD, and I start seeing the Lakers just letting LeBron do whatever he wants, I don't think AD needs to be there. What's the point of being there? He got his championship already. What's the point of Anthony Davis being there? You say you want him to be the number 1 option. He needs to take the keys from LeBron, but LeBron has to allow him to get the shots and actually feed him in the post and feed him where he wants the ball. But AD has to also be aggressive enough to get the ball and call for it. So I just think it's not a clear indication of who should be the number 1 player on that team. Darvin Ham said it, but they're not implementing the game plan according to the stats and numbers, right? So that's all I got to say about that. You guys continue to pull up a seat, pull up a check, pull out. Peace. Out here like swim well.